Chosen one. Hold on for a second. Don't scroll past this. I'm not here to convince you of anything. I'm here to reveal something that has been unfolding quietly behind the scenes. Someone has fallen in love with you. Not in a casual way, not as a fleeting feeling, but in a deep, intentional, undeniable way. And what makes it so unbelievable is this. Logically, it shouldn't add up. The age gap, the awkward timing, the complicated circumstances, all the sensible reasons that say, this won't work. On the surface, it looks mismatched, but the heart doesn't operate on surface logic. And when something is divinely orchestrated, obstacles don't get to decide the outcome. Earlier this morning at 4:44, I felt suddenly awakened with a powerful impression. It was as if I had stepped into a heavenly record room, a place where destinies are written. I saw a massive book resting on a glowing table. An angel stood beside it, gently tracing two names written next to each other. Your name and the name of someone who has been loving you in silence. The understanding was unmistakable. These names were connected long before either life began. What seems complicated on earth is simple in heaven. People count years. God counts purpose. People analyze circumstances. God aligns hearts. Then the scene shifted. I saw them, not confused, not lost, but kneeling in prayer. They weren't playing games with their feelings. They were asking if what they feel is real. Asking if it's right. Asking for bravery to speak what they've kept hidden. And the response impressed on my spirit was clear. What I have brought together, fear cannot tear apart. Not age, not doubt, not distance, not timing. This connection was designed, and it is time for it to step into the light. Stay with me. Don't click away yet. There's a reason this message found you. If you leave before the full picture is revealed, you may miss the clarity attached to it. And before we go any further, take a moment to subscribe and turn on notifications. We are on the journey to 5,000 subscribers, and this channel is growing because these messages are reaching the exact people they are meant for. If this resonates with you, become part of this community. Subscribe now so you don't miss what comes next, especially the guidance about recognizing and stewarding this kind of connection. This isn't random content. This is alignment. Now stay with me, because what unfolds next will help you understand exactly how this love has been developing, and how you'll recognize when it finally steps out of silence and into words. Before we continue, type, I received this love with wisdom. This isn't superstition, it's intention. It's you saying you're open to what is healthy, mutual, and divinely aligned. And subscribe, not out of pressure, but because what comes next will help you recognize whether this connection is genuine and how to handle it with maturity. Love without wisdom can feel overwhelming. Stay connected so you don't miss what brings understanding. Now listen carefully. The person who loves you has been praying, and this moment may be part of the answer they've been waiting for. Let's talk about the signs. Sign 1. Their spirit felt something before their mind could explain it. When they first encountered you, something clicked, and it startled them. It wasn't just attraction, it was familiarity, a strange peace, a sense that they had known you before knowing you. They tried to rationalize it, tried to dismiss it, told themselves it was random. But every time they're near you, something settles inside them. Something feels right. This kind of recognition isn't fantasy. It's what happens when two hearts resonate at a deeper level than logic can measure. As it says in 1 Samuel 16:7, people look at outward appearance, but God looks at the heart. Humans count years. God considers connection. Within the next couple of weeks, you may notice confirmation. a comment, a confession, a look that reveals they've felt this from the beginning. That's sign 1. Recognition before reasoning. Now stay with me. Sign 2. They've tried to fight what they feel and failed. This hasn't been easy for them. They told themselves it's impractical. They convinced themselves it's ill-timed. They rehearsed every sensible reason to walk away. But no matter how many mental walls they built, the feelings didn't disappear. They attempted distraction. They tried focusing elsewhere. Yet you keep returning to their thoughts. Your name echoes. Your image surfaces unexpectedly. This isn't obsession, it's persistence of emotion. They weren't resisting because they didn't care. They were resisting because they cared too much. Sometimes fear hides behind logic. Age became an excuse. Timing became a shield. But what is meant to be explored doesn't dissolve under pressure. As written in Jeremiah 29:11, God speaks of plans filled with hope and future. When something survives internal conflict, it usually means it carries weight. Their struggle has strengthened their certainty. When they finally stop resisting, it won't be impulsive. It will be deliberate. Watch for the shift. When someone stops fighting their feelings, their energy changes. That's sign 2. Now, don't leave yet. Sign 3. Their behavior hasn't always matched their words. Have you noticed inconsistency? Moments of closeness followed by distance, warmth followed by restraint, interest followed by hesitation. That contradiction isn't manipulation, it's conflict. Their heart moves toward you. Their mind pulls back. They may downplay what they feel. They may act casual. But their actions often reveal more than their statements. When someone's words say, "I'm unsure," but their presence says, "I care," pay attention. Chosen one, this story isn't about fantasy, it's about discernment. Not every connection is divine, but some deserve careful attention. Stay grounded, stay wise, stay open. And if this message resonates, remain present. The next signs will help you recognize whether this love is courageous enough to step into the light, and whether it's healthy enough to grow when it does. One day, they're leaning in. The next day, they're nowhere to be found. One moment, they're open and warm. The next, guarded and distant, and you've felt the whiplash. Here's what's really happening. Their mixed behavior isn't strategy. It's struggle. They're torn between desire and fear. When they step back, it's not because they don't care. It's because caring feels risky. The age gap makes them question themselves. The circumstances make them hesitate. So they withdraw, trying to silence feelings that won't quiet down. Then the love pulls them forward again. Then fear pushes them back. It's not rejection. It's a heart divided against itself. You've seen it in their eyes. There are moments when the way they look at you says more than words ever could. Then suddenly, they close up, change the subject, act like nothing meaningful just happened. And you've wondered, did I imagine this? Was it ever real? But what felt like mixed signals was actually inner conflict. They weren't playing games. They were trying to protect themselves from emotions that felt bigger than they expected. Every time they distanced themselves, they were attempting to move on. Every time they came back, they were surrendering to what wouldn't let them go. Clarity is coming. As it says in Luke 8:17, nothing hidden stays hidden forever. What's been buried rises. What's been concealed comes into the light. You're about to see alignment where there used to be contradiction. Watch for consistency replacing confusion. That's sign 3. Their actions have been wrestling with their feelings. Now, let's go deeper. Sign 4. They've been taking you to God in prayer. This part is sacred. They haven't treated this lightly. They've been asking God if what they feel is right, if it's permitted, if it's wise, if it's real. They've questioned the age difference. They've questioned the timing. They've questioned themselves. And instead of acting impulsively, they've been seeking guidance. That's why they've moved slowly, not because they doubt you, but because they wanted peace with God first. They've asked for signs, they've paid attention to dreams, they've searched for confirmation, and in quiet ways, they've felt reassurance. As written in Matthew 7:7, "Ask, and it will be given. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be opened." They've been asking. They've been seeking. They've been knocking. And now courage is beginning to replace hesitation. That's sign 4. This love has been prayed over. Stay with me. Sign 5. You've sensed something too. While they've been carrying feelings privately, you've felt subtle shifts. You've thought about them randomly. You've felt something when their name comes up. You've noticed a pull you can't fully explain. That's not imagination. That's awareness. Healthy connections are rarely one-sided in perception. When something is mutual, both people feel it, even before it's spoken. As Ecclesiastes 4:9-10 reminds us, 2 are better than 1. Real partnership involves reciprocity. If you've sensed a change in energy, a growing tension, a quiet buildup, it may be because something unspoken is maturing. That's sign 5. The feeling hasn't been one-directional. Now, listen closely. Sign 6. They're reaching their limit of silence. Carrying unspoken love gets heavy, and they're getting tired of pretending. They've drafted messages and deleted them, started conversations and abandoned them, rehearsed confessions in their head, imagined your response over and over. They've hovered over the send button more times than you realize. But here's the shift. The pressure of silence is becoming stronger than the fear of speaking. The longer something true is held back, the harder it becomes to contain. And they're approaching that breaking point. The moment where honesty feels safer than hiding. When someone reaches that place, confession isn't dramatic. It's inevitable. Chosen one, don't let excitement override discernment. Not every feeling is destiny, but when you see consistency replacing confusion, courage replacing retreat, clarity replacing hesitation, pay attention. The story is still unfolding. The feelings haven't faded. They've intensified. And the quiet they've been hiding behind? It's becoming unbearable. They haven't reached the end of loving you. They've reached the end of pretending they don't. Something is about to shift. A conversation that rewrites everything. A message that finally says what's been held back. A look that lingers long enough for the truth to surface. As it says in Luke 6:45, the mouth speaks what the heart is full of, and their heart is full. So full that silence can't contain it much longer. When emotion overflows, words follow. You may sense it soon, a change in their tone, their presence, their courage. The tension they've been carrying is peaking. And when pressure peaks, release follows. That's sign 6. Silence has reached its breaking point. Now here is the final piece. Sign 7. The timing is lining up. This isn't random. Moments like this don't unfold chaotically. They align. Conversations that once felt awkward begin to feel intentional. Obstacles that stood in the way start to dissolve. Courage replaces hesitation. As written in Ecclesiastes 3:1, there is a time for everything, a time to be quiet and a time to speak. The quiet season is ending. The moment for honesty is approaching. They're feeling it too. The delay no longer feels safe. The silence no longer feels wise. What once felt easier to hide now feels heavier to hold. When timing aligns, things move quickly. Let's recap what you've seen. Recognition before logic. A battle they couldn't win against their own feelings. Behavior that reflected internal conflict. Prayers whispered in private. A connection you sensed without words. Silence that can't stretch any further. And now, the right moment forming. Someone has fallen deeply in love with you, despite age questions, despite circumstances, despite logic arguing against it, and they are close to telling you. But hear this clearly. Doubt may try to creep in before it happens. You may second-guess what you've sensed. Old fears may whisper that it's unrealistic. Don't let insecurity sabotage clarity. If something is genuine, it won't collapse under examination. Real love withstands questions. It doesn't fear them. Now, instead of fear, choose readiness. Say this quietly to yourself. I am open to love that is healthy, mutual, and honest. I will not shrink from what is real. I will not chase what is unclear. I trust timing. I trust clarity. If this message resonates, engage with intention. Like the video, not out of superstition, but as acknowledgement. Subscribe if you want more guidance about navigating real connections with wisdom. Share it with someone who needs hope again. And comment. Divine love is finding me at the right time. Chosen one, you arrived here wondering if anyone could truly see you. You leave knowing it's possible someone already does. Not shallow attraction, not temporary interest, but something thoughtful, tested, and ready to speak. Go forward grounded. Go forward discerning. Go forward confident enough to receive, and wise enough to evaluate. If it's real, it will show up clearly. If it's meant to grow, it will step into the light. And when the words finally come, you won't be surprised. You'll recognize them. The feelings haven't faded. They've intensified. What they've been trying to manage quietly has grown louder inside them. The love isn't weakening, it's expanding. And the silence they've been hiding behind, it's becoming impossible to maintain. They haven't reached the end of loving you. They've reached the end of pretending they don't. There is a breaking point when emotion outweighs fear, when holding everything in becomes more painful than telling the truth. They are standing at that edge now. Something is about to open. It may be a conversation that shifts the direction of your connection. It may be a message sent after being rewritten a dozen times. It may be a moment of eye contact that lingers too long to deny what's there. As written in Luke 6:45, the mouth speaks what the heart is full of. And their heart is full of thoughts about you, questions about you, hopes they've barely admitted to themselves. When something fills the heart to the brim, it eventually finds its way into words. You'll feel the difference before you hear it. The tension in them will peak. Their energy will shift. The hesitation that once defined them will begin to dissolve. That's sign 6. Silence has reached its limit. Now, here is where everything aligns. Sign 7 is about timing. Not rushed timing, not forced timing, the right timing. There is a season for quiet reflection and a season for bold truth. Ecclesiastes 3:1 reminds us there is a time for everything, a time to be silent and a time to speak. The season of silence is closing. The season of honesty is approaching. They feel it internally. Delaying now feels wrong. Avoiding the conversation feels heavier than facing it. What once seemed safer to suppress now demands expression. When timing aligns with courage, movement happens quickly. Look at the pattern. Their heart recognized you before logic could explain it. They fought their feelings and still couldn't escape them. Their behavior reflected inner conflict, not manipulation. They sought clarity privately before acting publicly. You sensed something shifting without words. They've reached the breaking point of silence, and now circumstances are aligning. Someone has fallen deeply in love with you, despite doubts, differences, and reasons that suggested they shouldn't. And they are close to telling you. Before that happens, doubt may whisper. You might question what you've sensed. Old insecurities may surface. Don't let fear rewrite what clarity has shown you. If it's real, it won't disappear under scrutiny. Real love withstands reflection. It doesn't collapse under questions. So prepare your heart, not with fantasy, but with steadiness. Say this quietly within yourself. I am open to love that is mutual, healthy, and honest. I will not chase confusion. I will not reject clarity. I trust timing. Chosen one, you may have arrived wondering if anyone could truly see you. You leave understanding that someone likely already does. Not a passing crush. Not temporary curiosity. But something intentional. Tested by hesitation, strengthened by reflection, and ready to be spoken. Move forward grounded. Stay observant. Let actions confirm words when they come. If it's meant to grow, it will step into the light. If it's meant to last, it will arrive clearly. And when the confession finally happens, it won't feel random. It will feel recognized,